Toei Animation. Wow, like, yeah. So today I'm going to be doing my first impression / episode 1 review of the anime World Trigger. It's the new shonen series, shonen battle series to get an anime, and I was anticipating this for a while because it's been quite some time since Shonen Jump has done a new anime of a battle series, because I can't remember the last time. I think it might have been Toriko, the last battle series to get an anime, so I was pretty stoked to see what this was going to be about because I have not read the manga as of yet, and I was like, oh sweet, anime, let's go. And to be honest with you, this episode 1 was pretty disappointing in many different aspects because I was just like, I didn't even have that high of expectations. I was just hoping to have something enjoyable and exciting, but what I got in this episode, the content, as far as like the story, it was alright, it was decent, but the production qualities and all the aesthetics around it was just like, it seems as though Toei Animation just did not care about putting a proper budget into this, because for a first episode, they dropped the ball. For starters, the art and animation, it seems as though every time they had a chance, they went for a still frame shot of us just looking at something with some dialogue, and then when they did animate it, it did not look fluid in any aspect. It looked very choppy, and to be honest with you, in certain aspects, it looked as though it was almost flash animation. It seems like they were probably trying to go for a more kid demographic that just really wouldn't care about any of those things because they put barely any money into this. The art and animation was just not good at all. I was just thinking to myself half the time, like, can you animate something? And then the moment they animated something, I'll be like, why does it look this bad? The beginning with the world building and exposition as to what's going on in the story was pretty interesting, finding out about these neighbors, these beast creatures that's come from, I guess, another world or something like that, and they basically are fighting against our world, but at the same time, the city called Mikado is trying to live a normal life while the border is fighting them or whatnot. So we got a little bit of exposition as to that, and that definitely sounded, a little exciting, a little humanity struggle or whatever against some sort of outside force. And the best thing about this episode, I feel, was the main character, Yuma Kuga. His character design looks pretty cool. He's very interesting. He actually made me laugh a couple times because he kind of does these weird little faces, and you can tell he doesn't understand certain social situations, so a lot of times it's like, what's this and what's that? So getting a little bit of his characterization, he's interesting, he's funny, he's a little bit cool. Like, I really like this character thus far, and that was the best thing about this episode, because between him and the world building, I was like, okay, those are the good aspects. But it felt very simplistic, a couple of bullies trying to fuck with him kind of fucking with them back, and then the other character, I believe his name was Osumo. As of right now, he just felt very vanilla. Honestly, it didn't seem anything interesting or exciting about him. He just kind of seemed like, okay, he's going to be one of the main characters, and yeah, he doesn't like seeing people bullied, so I guess I like that aspect, like, okay, he stands up for his friends, and, he's a little bit brave, but aside from that, there was really nothing to his personality that stood out. But again, majority of the time, I was just thinking to myself, Toei dropped the ball. The direction of how they approached this episode, the art and animation again, not putting music in certain scenes where it just felt hollow and empty, and it was just like, why do you keep showing us still shots? And why is the animation so damn inconsistent and just, ugh? Transformation seemed pretty cool when they were going trigger on and they were like transforming everything, so that looked pretty cool. But again, Yuma Kuga is the best thing about this episode and this premiere. It was honestly like, he's interesting, he's cool, his transformation looks dope, he can fight off these neighbor creatures or whatever. So like, yeah, Yuma Kuga, cool, but everything else regarding this episode, it just felt bland. I think the revelation in the end about Yuma got me a little bit excited to watch the next episode, but to be honest with you, if I don't review this weekly, you know why, because I honestly feel as though Toei is half-assing it, and yeah, just didn't feel like this is something that they're putting their wholehearted effort into. I shouldn't be only excited about one character and one thing that's going on right now. I should be getting excited about everything and not just looking like, oh, the art's bad, the animation's bad. Like, I should be just having a great time, especially for a premiere, and this looks like they really just made this for kids. Hopefully next week's episode is better, and hopefully it doesn't continue this trend, but to be honest with you, I'm going to give this episode for a premiere a 5 out of 10. It did some decent world building. The character Yuma Kuga, learning about his father, learning about his origin and everything, that was some good stuff, but everything else, it was just like, they dropped the ball, Toei, like, and I keep saying it, but they totally did. For an episode 1, I should not be looking at what felt like just some, oh, let's quickly get this episode out because we have, episode 88 to go through. Like, this felt And so far, the other main character, Osimo, he seemed alright, but he just felt very plain, and there's nothing really too deep about his character as of right now. But let me know what you guys think. If you've seen episode 1 of World Trigger, what did you think about the episode? What do you think about the art and animation? Do you have a favorite character thus far? Again, I wanted to actually really enjoy this show because I'm looking forward to some new shonen series to come and kick ass, but if Toei is doing this, then there's really no hope for another big hitter. And your thoughts on the neighbors and the transformations with Trigger on? Like, again, some of those aspects were kind of cool, but yeah. That's all for my first impression. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.